Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. We are the Mile High Property Brothers. Today, fun one, informative one. I say that all the time. Either way, it's gorgeous outside. It's early spring. We are back in Boulder. We'll be talking about cost of living for 2022 right here.
All right,
right now.
Oh, I was almost early. Let's check it out, guys. What's up, guys? I'm Eli Schmidt. This is my partner Will Grimes, and if it's your first time checking out the channel, welcome, and hit that subscribe button because we drop a ton of content all week long telling you everything there is to know about moving to or living in the entire Denver, Colorado, and Boulder area.
100%, and we are licensed brokers here in the state of Colorado, which means as much as we love making these videos, we would love more to help you guys with those real estate needs. So that number that's popping up below, we are the guys who answer the phone calls, text messages, and those emails. So if there's something that we can do for you, we would love to do that. Without further ado, let's talk about Boulder. And like you said, hey, we do help in Boulder. Let's just give you guys a full disclosure here. We're gonna be doing more content on it, but we can help you pretty much from Fort Collins all the way to the Springs. We are licensed in all of Colorado. However, we cover pretty much all of it. We'll leave it at that. So if you guys think you are out of our region or out of our spot, you are definitely not. We've got ourselves, we've got a great team behind us. We can definitely help you. $2022,
Yes.
cost of living in Boulder. It's gone up a little bit. It's still a great place. We had a lot of fun today. We're gonna show you guys a ton of B-roll of getting outside. A lot of restaurants are opened up. People are going out, having a great time. It's that early springtime, so people are getting back into that warm weather. Super great day to come film.
It is.
A lot of fun, but more importantly, is just talking to you guys about what the cost of living looks like.
Yeah, so we are up here today, like Will said. We grabbing a little bit of food. We were out on Pearl Street Mall, which I'm sure you're taking a look at right now, and it is super cool to see the town really opening up and coming alive with just the springtime here, and everyone's getting back out, restaurants are open, everyone's enjoying themselves, and this is one of the absolute best times that you'll find in Colorado, in my opinion, next to like fall time. Again, we have all 4 seasons here, so you do get those kind of interim seasons. So just one of the awesome things about Boulder, and Boulder is extremely beautiful in both of those. We've got a little bit of rain this past week, so everything is looking super green, which is nice.
We should have some more rain coming this week, I think. And just to be specific, guys, as far as like cost of living that we're gonna be covering, it's gonna be like your taxes, it's gonna be home prices. As far as like gas prices and sales tax, buying groceries, a lot of it's pretty similar and consistent to our cost of living videos where we just go over everything all together. So we'll put that link below inside of that text. So if you guys just want to see the general cost of living of what everything else looks like, we've done that for you before. You guys can watch that again if you'd like. But specifically, it's property taxes, it's cost of living as far as like
food,
all of that stuff.
Transportation, those sort of things. So diving into it, starting Colorado as a whole, and then diving into Boulder specifically. So Colorado as a whole is approximately 30% higher than the national average when it comes to general cost of living. If you move out here from, say, the Midwest or something like that, we're still a lot cheaper than, you know, a lot of the coast in California, New York, things like that. But yes, we're about 30% higher on average as far as the rest of the nation, and specifically the majority of that comes from housing prices. Now, to give you guys an idea of how Boulder compares to Denver, it's another 30%. So not across the board, but specifically with homes, you're looking at about 30% higher. In generally, it's going to be more, but on average, about 30% higher in Boulder.
A good reference is just imagining Boulder being a very similar cost to Southern California. So if you guys are in like Irvine area or just anywhere like in that Orange County, San Diego area, Boulder's price very similar to Southern California.
So right now, to give you guys an example, we are right near the Boulder Reservoir. There's a beautiful neighborhood right behind us, as you can see. And homes out here, they're ranging from 6-7 million up to 13 million sitting on the reservoir.
Correct. And a lot of that, especially when it comes to the homes that get a little bit more expensive, like you've got private neighborhoods, you've got a lot of land, and what's really cool is like you've got that lake view mixed in with like a landscape prairie view mixed in with like the Boulder Rocky Mountains, which is, it's really hard to get the trifecta in all three, regardless of where you're at in Colorado. To own land there and have a mix of water, that prairie look, in addition to the mountains like I've been speaking about. I wish I could articulate how hard it is to get all three of those in one and have land and a home owned on that for under this price.
But man, when you come out here, 30% feels worth it.
It's gorgeous.
It really does.
No cops were called on us.
Pull over! No, it's a cardigan, but thanks for noticing.
When we were out filming around, driving around, like,
good.
feel like they're okay with us around here. If they've seen us enough before, they know it's those Mile High Property Brothers we was filming again. So no police, no security. We're good. We're okay up here.
That's right. Diving into median home prices. So the median home price in Boulder is almost $1 million. It's about 998, right around there. So almost $1 million for median home price, which comparatively to Denver's right around 600-700 right now.
Correct. And just to give you guys a little bit of perspective, we're going to go over a couple different price points, and we're also going to show you guys a little bit more as far as like, hey, what type of home could you have here? Because you've got completely embedded into the mountains where half of your house is going down a cliff, and you've got amazing views and you're top of a mountain, and you've got a lot of weather and different things to be considerate of, and just a lot of labor on your property to make sure that you're taken care of. And you've got more like we are standing right now, which is farmhouse, river running behind us, views of mountains. You're not embedded in the mountains, but you've got views of mountains, and then you've also got CU Boulder here, college campus. So you also have Pearl Street in and around surrounding Pearl Street, and just south of that to the campus, where you've got more campus style living, where you have traditional neighborhoods, but they've done a lot of historical rebuilds on some of the older homes that are there, and then they've done complete scrapes, and they've got brand new builds in those neighborhoods as well. So it's more of like that cultured, it almost feels like an old school Denver kind of feel, like around DU, except for you're in Boulder and you're by the Boulder campus. So completely different. However, price points tend to be somewhat similar depending on how much land you have or proximity to the college that you are.
Now, diving into some of the more specific prices, you're going to see gas up here. It's going to be a little bit more. You know, right now, California is like $7 a gallon, and this
17?
is this is for perspective. Whenever you guys are watching this again, this is mid-April 2022. So California is like $7-8 a gallon right now. Or maybe it came down a little bit, but the rest of Colorado is what, $3.80, $3.60. Up here, you're pushing that $4 mark. So still very low compared to some other places. Colorado hasn't gotten super crazy with the gas prices, but you're paying a little bit more up here in Boulder.
And depending on where you're living in Boulder, where you decide to buy a home, a lot of it's super walkable. So if you are around the campus, or if you're around Pearl Street, like, hey, gas is an issue for you, like, there's so many things that are walkable for you, could be super great. So as far as like just your lifestyle and what you have to accommodate, something to consider.
And being a college town, buses are a lot more accessible here. There is a lot more public transportation up here. When it comes to walkability, that's something that, you know, we say Denver doesn't have a whole lot of, downtown Denver, or rather the surrounding Denver neighborhoods within the city and county of Denver.
Yeah, like downtown you do. If you got 16th Street Mall, you've got the trolley that runs there. He calls it a bus. It's a trolley bus.
It's a mall ride. Free mall ride.
Free mall ride. But you've got public transportation there. But as far as like Denver Metro surrounding, like from the Highlands or Sunnyside into downtown, not so much as far as like walkability.
Yeah, but Boulder, on the other hand, for the most part, is very walkable. Even a lot of the urban, suburban homes, like within, closer to downtown of Boulder, it is very, very walkable there.
Right. And as far as like just high dollar value homes that are out here, the luxury homes, some of those they've been here for a while. They are amazing homes, but they're outdated. So some of these need a little bit of like, just refreshing, just spring cleaning and remodeling and making it modern and updated, but could cost you a couple $100,000 to do that. However, like a lot of people do that. They're happy to do that. We've had clients do that themselves. And the reason why is because Boulder has a large restriction on new builds that are allowed to be here in the first place. So when you start to think about like, hey, why am I spending $4 million and I've got to remodel it because it looks like it's out of a Whitesnake music video, right? Like, why would you do that? Well, as far as like just demand on the lot and the home, and you're limited as far as like just new builds coming here. And a lot of people have signed up for that. They've been on a waiting list for that. And like, it just takes a long time, but there's a lot of restrictions. Eli's going to get into who owns the property out here, what that looks like. But bottom line is a lot of these homes that are pre-existing are the ones that are going to be available for you. So if you'd like to be here, you don't have a choice but to remodel up in Boulder versus like some other place that we've shown, backcountry, that's just newer by nature. So it's already looks remodeled.
That's in Highlands Ranch.
It's in Highlands Ranch. It's a brand new area, brand new builds. You've got Southeast Aurora, you've got Castle Rock. We've shown a lot of different areas. There is no restrictions as far far as new builds. So you can compare and contrast pre-existing to brand new and like, hey, what's better for you? And should we go brand new because of these benefits and it being remodeled? Boulder's a different story. You do not really have that option here, which means remodeling is almost necessary depending on what you want it to look like for yourself.
Yeah, so definitely factor that in. Talking about cost of living when you're planning on buying, I almost said $1 million, you're probably not gonna find a $1 million home up here.
Right.
But when you're looking at $2-3+ million homes, plan on budgeting that, because you may look at some of these homes. A lot of them, yeah, they're gorgeous as is. A lot of them you may look at, some of these that are like sitting on the lake, yeah, you're gonna have to give them some updates.
Yeah, and here's the thing, like when you're first getting yourself into this, it's like, man, that's kind of a bummer that they don't have as many new builds and some things are restricted. But once you're a homeowner, you do love that because Boulder is nationally recognized. Everyone, when you think Colorado, you think Aspen or you think Boulder, Colorado.
Yeah.
And because of that, yes, as far as like the equity here, as far as like the economy here and what your home's gonna be worth and the stability of Boulder, you get a lot of great things from here. We've had a lot of folks move from the Bay Area, specifically wanted to be in Boulder because you've got, yes, great schools, the best schools in Colorado, but on top of that, it's like, hey, we know Boulder. We recognize Boulder coming from San Francisco, the heart of San Francisco.
Yeah.
We recognize Boulder. We respect that economy there and what it means and how it's represented and how it is restricted and how it is limited and how that holds value across the board versus some of the newer areas, not only in Colorado, but just new areas in other states that are growing. It's almost like old money versus new money, right? Like, can you trust new money? Of course you can, but old money, it's established, it's cultured, it's there. There's a lot of that nostalgic piece to Boulder, which is why guys and gals have no problem remodeling homes because they just want to get in. So yes, it's a little bit harder to get in, but once you are in a home that you love, mainly the location of wherever it's at, finding that, making remodels as necessary, not a problem. And again, you are super happy once you're in because of how well Boulder protects itself.
Now, things like groceries, those are going to be similar to gas because of just inflation. If you're looking at how much average salaries are in Boulder versus average salaries in Denver, look how everything's going to just play accordingly, right? So yes, groceries are going to be probably 10 to 15% higher, but if you were living and working in Boulder, you're probably getting paid 10 to 50% more than if you were living in Denver. So if you kind of look at all just the day-to-day living expenses, they're all going to be just a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Outside of housing, that's a lot higher, but they're all going to be just a little bit higher than the rest of Denver.
Right, but again, if it's walkable for you, or if it is dry, you know, if you do have to drive, but it's super minimal on your driving, even if you guys are back in like Nederland, which is just behind Boulder, it's 12 minutes to come down into the actual city of Boulder and grab what you need. Like, it's not terribly bad. During the week, like, you don't have a lot of rushes and things like that. Like, it's super, not just easy, there's a great flow as far as shopping out here.
All right, now wrapping up, guys, let's talk taxes real quick. So the sales tax in Boulder, worth mentioning, it's 8.8% because it is the biggest in Colorado. Colorado as a whole is pretty awesome as far as income tax goes, as far as property taxes, as far as sales tax. But we did want to mention this because for Boulder being awesome, it's still the highest of Colorado.
And you'll find like Arapahoe counties in certain areas, like you'll find like mid to high 7% and things like that. So when we say it is higher, it is in the 8s, like it's not significantly higher than a lot of places. Significant is subjective. I get it, completely up to you as far as like how you want to interpret that, but 8.8.
Yep.
There you have it. Guys, this is Boulder. We have a lot more specific video when it comes to just a lot more cost of living in Denver Metro / Colorado as a whole. We've got that link below if you guys want to just go over more information on that. We would love for you if you guys have questions. Yes, again, as a reminder, we are licensed brokers in the state of Colorado, and just as much as we love making these videos, we would love more to help you with those real estate needs. So that number that's popping back up below, we are the guys to answer the phone calls, text messages, and those emails. We would love to answer those questions for you. And again, if there's anything specific as far as the cost of living here or anywhere else, be as specific as possible with some of your questions. We would love to help you.
All right, see you guys.
See you guys.
You will.
Gang, gang.
You will. What's up, guys? I'm Eli Schmidt.